It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. It's Thursday evening, June 15th. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude oil, S&P, gold, euro, and FDAX tonight. Crude is bearish and trying to retest the measured move, so we're looking for some selling opportunities up at resistance levels overhead on Friday. The S&P is bullish with a multi-tiered bull channel, which tells us to look at previous swings on the chart for buying opportunities on the way up to a measured move target tomorrow. Gold is bearish with a spike in range tonight, telling us to look for selling opportunities up at resistance levels overhead tomorrow. The euro is bearish with a grind break tonight. Really important chart tonight on the euro, which tells us to look for traps and failures up in the battle zone tomorrow. And don't forget the FDAX. The DAX is bearish with a big old flag pattern. So the plan is to look for buyer failures up at resistance and a possible trend reversal tomorrow on the FDAX. We are headed into quad witching Friday, the fourth Friday of, or should I say the third Friday of this 6th month of the year. Got a great newsletter in store for you guys and gals tonight. Plenty of reliable trading opportunities setting up for tomorrow. Before we jump into our charts, though, I do want to remind you the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is on our blog here at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, it's only a small snippet on the YouTube channel. Not to worry, there's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link and come join me here on the blog at Sideways Markets for the full-length version. While you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list. I'll send you an email every evening when our nightly newsletter goes live. Follow me on social media, lower left-hand corner. Got some Twitter, got some stock twits, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever your flavor of choice is. Follow me on social throughout the week. Grab those charts below the video tonight. How easy is that? Have all the charts from tonight's video on your computer ready for tomorrow. Follow that link below the video tonight on the blog. And please don't forget to grab your free pass. That's right, you'll learn more with me in 90 minutes on that free pass. If you're not a member here at School of Trade, you owe it to your trade account balance to grab that free pass, and I'll see you guys in the trade room as a guest. Also, don't want to forget, guys, we're always here to help. If you have any questions, hit me up on live support on the right-hand side of our blog at Sideways Markets. There's also a live support tool on the right-hand side of the homepage at schooloftrade.com. Got a big day tomorrow, of course, last day of quadruple witching. We've been talking about this pretty much all week, ever since the beginning of the week this week here. Third week of every 3 months, right? March, June, September, December. That's right. Tomorrow's the third Friday of the month. It is officially the quadruple witching. Of course, all 4 asset classes expiring. Most important thing you want to be aware of for tomorrow is that quadruple witching has kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy to it. People know it's going to be a little bit lower volume. They know it's going to be a little more volatile, and a lot of traders stay away from it. And, of course, that makes it even more dramatically lower volume. So we're definitely battling the concerns with low volume here. And we talked about this earlier this week. Thursday and Friday of quad witching are always expected to be the most difficult of that week. Tomorrow's a Friday to begin with, right? So we always know Friday means early in, early out, right? Anything after 11 o'clock on Friday mornings is lower reliability, so keep that in mind tomorrow. And also, don't forget, at the end of the week, this week, we start watching those prior week levels, right? Don't forget about that. At the end of the week, we start watching last week's open, high, low, close levels. At the end of the month, right, we start watching last month's open, high, low, close levels because they start acting as a magnet. Now, of course, you can see tomorrow, of course, being the 16th, all we really have tomorrow as far as major news on the calendar is the housing starts at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Again, nothing in the overnight session, nothing really to work with tomorrow morning in London. So again, get to it early in, early out tomorrow. If you're with us tomorrow morning, we'll be in the trade room tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. We'll trade around that housing starts number. And again, keep an eye on the time tomorrow. 11 o'clock is my official cutoff, but I would really on Friday morning, quad witching Friday, be watching that volume closely after 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. By 10:30, 10:45, we might be seeing the market fluttering around on low volume. Remember, low volume leads to unpredictable and unreliable opportunities for us day traders, so be very, very careful late in the morning on Friday morning. Quad witching tomorrow, again, early in, early out. Friday, early in, early out. And don't forget, Sunday's Father's Day, right? Make sure you remember Dad, right? I know it's easy to forget Sunday, right? But make sure you remember Dad on Sunday. And, of course, happy Father's Day out there to all the dads out there. I still don't know how my dad did it all with all of us kids growing up. But, boy, hats off to you guys, all the dads out there. Thanks for being amazing people, and enjoy your Father's Day on Sunday. As I said earlier, we'll be back in our trade trade room tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be executing this plan with all of our advanced members. Let's jump right in. We've got crude oil, S&P, gold, euro, maybe some FDAX here tonight. Let's jump right in. Crude is bearish and choppy had a contract rollover, and this bear channel combined with the measured move tells us to avoid chasing this move lower and look for selling opportunities up at resistance levels overhead, with the target going back to retest the measured move tomorrow. One thing to keep in mind tomorrow is that trading range on the chart. Definitely watching this closely to see if the sellers are unable to keep price rotating lower, because if they fail, we'll likely see price move back up to that range high tomorrow. Now, of course, it's been no secret the last 24, 48 hours here on crude oil have been pretty choppy here after the inventory report on Wednesday morning, right? Move going lower here. You can see real choppy. And anytime we see a market that is kind of sliding lower, you can definitely see there's a bear trend to it. The one thing, whenever we have a market that is, again, strong trends down, as we always say in this newsletter, right? Strong trends make it very difficult, in this example, for the buyers to participate. Strong moves down mean you can be a little more aggressive selling high and selling relatively low in a strong trend. When we see a market do this, we really got to be careful not to sell too low. So really important tomorrow to really focus on selling high, because we're not going to be able to get away with selling low down here because buyers are able to buy low as well. There just isn't that strength to that channel. So whenever you see a real flat channel like this, the very first thing I think of is got to really be careful to sell high tomorrow. And of course, we're going to sell high up at resistance. First thing that comes to mind is this falling resistance trend line. That would be a great place to sell high tomorrow, back down. Right, another thing that comes to mind here, of course, is this previous range low at 44.41, up and back down from there. Obviously overhead in the battle zone up at 66, more dramatic, right? Back down overhead, right? Those are three levels of resistance we're watching here for tomorrow. And ultimately, what you want to be thinking in an environment like this is just don't sell into that measured move, right? What we're looking for is price up and back down to retest that, right? To retest that low. That's the ultimate objective right now for the bears. They're not going to want to sell low. They want to sell high. So they're watching for resistance levels at 41, prior resistance trend line, and of course up inside the battle zone. So a couple scenarios to think about tomorrow. One would be a trap high, right? Trap high above prior swings back down. That'll be the most aggressive. Second here would be up into that trend line and buyer failure, up into that trend line, buyer failure back down. That will be a wonderful opportunity to allow us to sell high tomorrow. And then, of course, we may see this market turn slightly bullish in the short term. We may see a two-legged correction, a little more dramatic up into that battle zone, where we may see price hold a trend line, back below, back up, right, and then down from there. So we may see as much as just a little tiny, right, trap above 41. We may see a failure above the moving average back down, or we may see, of course, price two-legged pullback, use that trend line, and of course that would turn short-term bullish, right, on the way back up before the turn back down around 66, 73, and 81. Most important thing here right now is trying to find some levels of resistance, up and back down, or again, little bit more bullish, right, and then up and back down from there. Now, one thing to keep in mind here for tomorrow is this potential trading range. As you can see, it fits a little bit better as a channel here this evening, right, as we come off that measured move. It does rotate a little bit better here as a channel, right, looking to sell off the high of that channel, sell up, right, and back down. If we do see it up and then stall out and really hold off of the low of that channel, that is going to be a big clue here that we might be getting rotation all the way back up to the opposite side and then back down. So we'll definitely look and see here how that looks, right, in the first few hours of the overnight session as we go into London tomorrow morning. If the price does keep rolling lower, the prior month low is at 44.10. We get a big round number at 44 even. So we know we're looking for price to go up and back down, but hey, if it rolls right over and we're looking right at that prior month low, most important thing as we try to push lower here through the low of this channel, below that measured move, whenever I find myself in a position where we haven't seen a good correction in a while, I always start looking for traps. In other words, price up, two-legged correction, trap high and back down, looking for that, again, up, down, up, trap high, up at resistance, right, and then back down. Anything to help me avoid selling into these lows here tomorrow. So keep that in mind if this price doesn't give us a nice correction and it just rolls right over, right, and doesn't give us much to work with, right, from the upside. How does market turn bullish tomorrow? How do we turn bullish? Strength. I have no problem being a buyer. I just need to make sure we see some proof on this first, right? So strong move up, hold the pullback on strength. Once we see those buyers take control, right, we're more than welcome to be bulls tomorrow. Again, just got to see some proof here. It's not enough to see the bears at support to start being a buyer in a bear market. I have to see the market turn bullish, and then we'll be fine. Right? I just want to make sure we see that up, down, up, right, strong move, hold that pullback, and then we can start looking for, right, a channel here to the upside here, right, looking to buy the lows of that channel. Again, watch out around the top of this battle zone tomorrow for a possible, right, two-legged pullback on the way back down. Looking forward to tomorrow, another big day tomorrow in our trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Look to sell high, stay away from selling low. Watch for the proof before you start being a buyer here on the crude tomorrow. And again, we're expecting to see a pretty good session tomorrow. We've had a pretty good week here overall across these markets, right, even in the face of quadruple witching. How about some S&P? S&P is bullish with a multi-tiered channel, which tells us to look for buying opportunities using previous support levels, such as that battle zone tomorrow. We're watching the measured move for a bullish target tomorrow, making sure we use traps and seller failures below that moving average if we get too close to that major resistance level up at the measured move. As you can see, pretty funky channel here on the chart tonight. I call this a multi-tiered, right, kind of a multi-tiered bull channel here on the chart tonight at a midline on it. And you can see that's pretty much the only thing that really fits here tonight. You could call this a spike in channel if you wanted to. I wouldn't argue with you if you called it a spike in channel. I wouldn't argue with you if you called this, right, a bull channel with a grind break. If you're a client of mine, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. So obviously there's a few different options on this, but everything pretty much points to the measured move as our target. That measured move is conveniently located right at the high of today when the bears failed to hold and the bulls took control. Their objective is quickly now to get back up and retest that high. One thing to keep an eye on here today, and we'll talk more about this as we go through the rest of this video tonight, is that prior week high. Anytime we get into a Friday session, we're always watching for those prior week open high, low close levels up there at that 43.25, 43.5 area. So that becomes a good target for those buyers tomorrow if they can get this thing really moving through that measured move. Most important thing, buyers have control. Where's their objective? Their objective is to complete that measured move and finish the rotation of that channel. Where are we right now? We're getting a little bit too close for comfort up here. As you can see, we're kind of right up into that measured move area. Whenever I find myself only a few points away from the measured move, I always start thinking about buying with traps, right? Buying with traps. Looking for traps down here below the 26.75, below that 23.25, down and back up. Couple different scenarios here we may get here tomorrow. Keep an eye on that trap low below 26, right, and 3/4. Heck, it might even be a shorter term trap low, right, for all I know, right, a little shorter term trap low. The bottom line is because we're getting so close to that measured move, I don't want to be buying high right now. And whenever I have a situation where I have to resist buying high, I always start looking for traps below prior swings. So watch for that short term trap low for the buy back up. Watch for, right, a possible seller failure below that moving average, right? Sellers try to sell that pullback below the moving average. Seller failure, right? Seller failure back below that moving average, right, for a buy, going back up to retest that high. And of course, don't forget, we may get a deeper pullback here, two-legged correction. Trend line comes down, break, test, right, and go down inside that battle zone, right? As you can see, I want to buy low. I really don't care how I do it. Trap low, seller failure below the moving average. Two-legged pullback with a trend line, right? Bunch of different ways in which we can look for buying opportunities, buying low. Again, as the price tries to go higher here, again, if we don't pull back very far, just like we talked about on crude oil, right? I don't want to be selling low on crude. I don't want to be buying high on the S&P. If we do see the price continue to go higher here, don't worry. Just keep looking for traps, right? Keep watching for trap low. Keep looking for those areas of support to buy low. Just make sure we don't buy into that resistance. If we do see the market try to break through the measured move, look for that successful breakout pullback. If we do get a chance here to break out above that measured move, don't forget, anytime we do price Anytime we see price sort of break through that measured move, the measured move is a market objective. I want to be very, very careful trying to trade through that breakout. The plan tomorrow is get the moving average up above the measured move, and then it's not the first pullback, it's the second pullback we're looking for tomorrow for a retest of that prior week high, right? I hope you guys had a great day today. We had a great day. We had a great week so far this week in our trade room. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time, as we execute the plan tomorrow for quadruple witching. Don't forget, if you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, it's only a small snippet on the YouTube channel. There's a link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow that link over here to the website at schooloftrade.com. And make sure, if you want to learn more about our trading strategy we use every day in our trade room, make sure you join that free trial on the homepage of School of Trade. Check out our beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels of membership. And please don't forget, I'm always here to help you guys out 24/7, 365 on live support. Don't be a stranger. No question too big or too small. Please don't forget, no newsletter on Friday afternoons. Have a great Father's Day weekend. If I don't see you guys tomorrow morning in the trade room, be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.